How are you doing, guys?
When you look at where the overall health is of your team right now, and with some guys you should get back this week or soon thereafter, do you feel you're pretty well positioned here from a health standpoint for a stretch run?
Yeah, again, we really don't think in those terms. We're all just focused on today's practice. We have some guys who are going to be able to practice today. We're going to have some guys who are going to be limited, and we're going to have some guys who are going to be out. Each of those guys is on their own schedule, and it's important for those guys to do whatever they can do every day to get back as quickly as they can. And when other guys are playing in their absence, it's important for those guys to take advantage of their opportunity.
Do you expect Tyron to practice today?
If he does, he'll be limited.
What about Sean Lee?
I don't anticipate Sean practicing today.
Beasley?
Yeah, I do anticipate him practicing.
Tavon?
Tavon will not practice today.
Irving?
Nope.
We've come in before about the youth of your team, and there's, two guys over 30. When you're in this situation with a month to go, do you have to, with a young team, have to remind them what's on the line or give a message to them about what's at stake over the final?
Yeah, really the same message. It's one we preach every day, 100 times a day, every way that we can. It's about being our best. It's about focusing on us and on the task at hand. The task at hand today is Wednesday's practice. So did a good job this morning with our meetings and our walkthrough, and now we have to have a good practice today, and that's really something to hear from me and our coaches really every day.
Along similar lines, it's human nature to ease up when you're in the so-called driver's seat. How do you preach against that?
Yeah, I don't really understand what you're talking about. I mean, we're just focused on what we need to do. Our backs are to the wall. They're always to the wall, and that's how we look at it. That's the approach we take as coaches and as players and the football team every day. And we come in and focus on our preparation. Each day it's critical for us to have a great Wednesday. And we'll put Wednesday to bed and try to come back and have a great Thursday in our preparation for Sunday.
How do Rod Marinelli and Chris Richard complement each other in terms of getting the most out of this defense?
I think they complement each other really well. I think they have the same beliefs and values as coaches, what they want to instill in players, what they want to instill in the defense. And, I think from a personality standpoint, if you're a player playing on the defensive side of the ball, to hear two different voices emphasize the same kinds of things, I think that's a really important dynamic to have on your staff, within a unit and all across the staff. That's what you try to do. You try to touch players, inspire players, teach and coach players the same message in different ways. And I think those guys really believe in the same things, and they go about it maybe a little bit differently, and I think that's good. Each of them has a really strong personality, and I think they have a positive impact on the guys they're coaching.
Talk about the challenges of defending Ertz in the first game, and is it more challenging just because of the other weapons they have to spread the field?
Yeah, he's a really good player. He's a really good player regardless of who he's playing with, where he's playing. He's just a very dangerous guy. He's someone they obviously like to go to, and easy to see why, because usually good things happen when they throw it to him. And we spent a lot of time with him coming out in the draft. He's a really good young man, loves football, goes about it the right way, and certainly having a lot of success in this league and the focal point of what they want to do in their passing game. And you said it, they have a lot of other weapons in their running game with their two runners who are playing predominantly now, and then in their passing game. A lot of different guys they can throw the ball to, a lot of guys that challenge in different ways. They got big receivers, they got smaller receivers, they got quick receivers, they got guys who are great going up and getting the football. They got guys who are great with the ball after they catch it. So they have a lot of different weapons that challenge every time the ball's snapped.
From a preparation standpoint, what changes the second time around when you meet a team? I mean, do you rely heavily on that first game, or do you look at it as a new game?
Well,
new approach. How much do you rely on the first game you guys met with the Eagles coming into this one?
Well, you rely on it. It's one of the games we've broken down. Obviously, we know this team. They know us. We're division rivals. We play each other twice a year, so that's part of it. That's part of the dynamic. But it absolutely is a new game. Nothing that happened in that first game is going to impact this game at all, good, bad, or indifferent. So you go through the same process as coaches with the breakdowns that you do, and you go through the step-by-step process all week long as you're putting the game plan together and as you go through your preparation with your team each day.
Is there anything different about a December NFC East first place on the line battle and a October 1st AFC West game?
Nope.
Truly? Why is it?
Yeah, you know, my experience in life and in football is that the best players, the best teams, they come to work every day. They prepare the right way every day. They prepare to the highest level. They try to put good days on top of each other, and they get ready for what that challenge is on Sunday. And the best teams do that. They play after play after play, through success, through adversity, week after week after week, through success, through adversity, and it doesn't really matter who the opponent is. And you know, that's really what the approach we try to instill in our team is. Each and every day, coming to be your best, stack good days on top of each other, embrace the challenge on the weekend.
Jason, is your offensive line playing better through this 4-game win streak? Are they grading higher?
The offensive line has done a good job. They certainly have. The games have not been perfect by any means, but we believe they're playing the right way. I think they're playing well together. We've had some different guys in the lineup over the last couple of weeks, and I think the substitute players have come in, gotten an opportunity, have done a good job with their chance. And you know, again, I think communication is really big for the offensive line, not only doing your job individually, but playing well together. And I think those guys have done that. Again, not perfect, but going about it the right way. Mark Colombo's done an excellent job with them.
Following up on what Todd was talking about earlier, so you never really discuss ramifications of a particular game with your team going in. It's strictly on performance and execution.
Yeah, the biggest thing we try to do is focus on each day's preparation to go play our best on Sunday, and that's really what we try to do each week. If all of a sudden you say this game is more important than that one, you know, what were you doing on that one? You need to prepare the right way. This is pro football. You get 16 chances to do this, so make sure your preparation's right and make sure you put it all out there every Sunday afternoon.
There are interceptions that go on a quarterback when they're not their fault. The ball's tipped up in the air or whatever by a receiver. Are the same thing for sacks with offensive linemen, that they'll get blamed for the sack, but it's not necessarily on them?
Oh yeah, everybody's got a piece of a sack. Certainly starts with the guys up front who are blocking them, but you know, tight ends can be a part of the blocking scheme. Backs can be a part of the blocking scheme. Receivers and backs and tight ends getting open. Quarterback decision making, quarterback presence in the pocket. All of those things factor into it. And if you look at the sacks we've had over the course of the year, you can point to each of those different things as contributing factors. And we have to do a better job of that. We've been much more efficient offensively the last few weeks, with the exception of those sacks. We've had to dig out of too many drives, so we have to do a better job of that going forward.
What's your most glaring issue to address offensively right now, do you feel?
Again, not really into the most or least or the comparisons, but that's certainly something we have to get better at. Again, we've been fairly efficient, done a good job. Obviously, Dak completed a lot of balls the other day, 24 to 28. So you're efficient. You're making the little plays in the game that keeps drives alive. But again, we got to minimize that bad play.
Has Dak taken more sacks this year than he has in the past, where he's either thrown it away or scrambled out of trouble?
Yeah, hard for me to know that. I do know that we got to get better in this area across the board.
How good has this break been for Zeke? He had so many carries in those 3 games in 12 days and did such a good job. How efficient was that for him to have a few days off?
Oh, I think it's big for everybody. We played a lot of football in a short period of time, and I thought our guys did an excellent job being pros, making sure they were getting their rest, making sure they were getting their treatment and their rehab to get themselves ready to play in each of the games. NFL football is physical. It's tough. When the game's over, these guys feel it, and they handled it really well. Zeke handled it really well, but it's good to get the break, get yourself back a little bit, come back refreshed and ready to go.
Steven said the other day that it's doubtful that Travis will play this year. Are you all at a point where you're ready to conclude that he will not play this year? Is it not quite there?
Yeah, I mean, we'll take his situation day by day. He's certainly not close to coming back and practicing right now. I think it's probably best to ask Travis directly on that, but he's done an excellent job for our team. He's been with us every step of the way, doing everything he can to get himself back, but also really engaged with our guys. And you talk about the job that Mark Colombo's done with some of the new guys that are playing. You know, Travis has been a big part of that. In meetings, at walkthroughs, he's just such a smart guy and a very generous guy. He's really helped our team out a great deal.
You said earlier you had a good meeting and a good walkthrough. What constitutes a bad meeting and a bad walkthrough? Like, can you tell right then? It's
absolutely. Yeah, I mean, just go back to high school. You know, a class that you had where the teacher is engaging and everyone's sitting at the edge of their seat and you're raising your hand and there's dialogue and there's engagement. I think those are really good things. And then you were in that same class where everybody was shooting spitballs and hanging out and not really caring about what was going on, right? So kind of picture what that classroom environment would be. Those are the differences. When guys are locked in, ready, asking questions, engaged in the process, that's good. And that's the same thing. Really a walkthrough is a meeting out on the field, and it's the same kind of a dynamic that you're looking for.
Safe to say no one's had spitballs and walkthroughs and meetings with you guys?
Yeah, probably not recently.
Recently?
I think Anthony Brown had the championship belt yesterday. What about his performance earned it for him?
Yeah, he really did everything in the game. If you look at it right from the get-go, he was involved in a number of plays where he knocked the ball down. The PBUs really were all over the defense, and he had a big part of that. He had a sack in the game. He tackled well. He just was around the action, and obviously the defense was outstanding, and he was the guy that stood out among all of them. All right, good to see you guys.